Good morning, good morning, good morning. Today is Friday, February 3rd. We're going to bring you a special show today. We're going to talk about Show Me the Money. That's right, Show Me the Money. We're talking about these no-cost tax refund advance. You can get $250, $500, or even $1,000 with no interest. That's right, a no-cost tax refund advance that doesn't have any interest, up to 200, starting at 250, 500, and 1,000. This is a no-brainer right here. This is like the best thing since sliced bread. I wouldn't leave any money on the table if someone was offering me a no-cost tax refund advance. I wouldn't wait till the end of February for them to start processing my tax refund. And without further ado, let me get down, show you the pudding. Well, they say the proof is in the pudding, but the proof is in Show Me the Money. So let me go ahead and show you the money. How is it possible to get a no-cost tax refund advance? Well, you can get tax refund advance, online, but we offer tax refund advances up to $6,000. That's right, folks. And so we offer the tax refund advances. We also offer a $50 cashback reward by downloading our tax filing app. That's right. If you download our tax filing app, that is in the Apple Store, or you can get it on the Google Play Store. And once you register for an account, we get a notification. That's how we're able to get you that $50 cashback reward. By downloading our mobile app. You can get $50 off your tax preparation fee, or if you would like, you can get the cashback reward. The offer is valid one per customer, and the tax returns must be electronically filed with MKG Tax Consultants and be eligible for a tax refund advance or electronic refund deposits. You'll be surprised on how many calls that I get. People are saying, hey, I already filed my taxes. I did it online at TurboTax, or I went to, such and such, tax company. Basically, we got to be first in position. No one wants to be, second in position. We got to be in first position, filing your taxes. We can't go on a promise, and a hope, because, once a year, where we work all year. And then, we look forward to getting, those tax refunds. And so, tax refunds aren't the same. The last few years, when we got the stimulus money, where a lot of people were getting, enormous amounts of refunds. But, refunds are a little bit smaller now. So, they kind of didn't, give us, a lot of those tax credits. But the refund advance is an optional tax refund related advance provided by Pathword in a member FDIC. It's not the actual tax refund, and it's at participating locations. The program availability and the tax refund advance amounts may vary based on state and service provider. The amount of the advance and applicable interest will be deducted, from your tax refund and reduce the amount that is paid directly, to the taxpayer. The fees and other optional products or features may apply. So basically, you have to pay for the tax preparation service fee or the tax prep fee, but it's a no-cost tax advance from $250 to $1,000 that's interest-free. Now, applying for a tax advance does not guarantee approval. Qualifications and restrictions apply, and all applicants may not be eligible for a tax advance, and the tax returns must be electronically filed with MKG Tax Consultants and be eligible for electronic refund deposit. And so basically, you can't go, and file, down the street online or some other tax shop, get denied. We don't have second chances, so we can't really, kind of save your tax refund, or save your tax, advance when you already, gave someone else the first shot. We got to be in first position, and so, if you file your tax with us, we're able to work with you, and see what we can do to find you some financing, because we do have a marketplace, with lenders and a network. But the tax returns, once again, must be filed electronically tax returns may be filed electronically without applying for this advance. The advance offered in amounts of $250 where applicable, $500 or $1,000, 25%, 50%, or 75% of your expected tax refund, from $250 to $6,000. You can apply for this advance by downloading our tax filing app. And so we do offer a digital tax preparation services. And so when calculating the amount of your tax advance, the amount of your expected tax refund may be affected by any refundable tax credit, tax advance in the amount of $250, $500, and $1,000 have an annual percentage rate of $1,000. Annual percentage rate of 0%. That's if you get the 250 to 1,000. But the tax advance in an amount of 25%, 50%, or 75% of your expected tax refund can have an APR of 36%, but it's still cheaper than a payday loan. A payday loan, you're going to be paying anywhere well above 250% a year. If you was to, hold that payday loan for 12 months. With the minimum tax advance of $1,250, for example, $2,500 tax advance, representing 50%, of your expected refund, which, if you had a $5,000 refund, you got $2,500 of that, and you held the, you took the money and you didn't get your return funded until 29 days later, the total amount payable in a single payment will be $2,571.50, including interest. Once again, you get $2,500. You pay it back in 29 days, you're going to pay $2,571.51. It doesn't take a rocket science to do the math here. If you go get a payday loan and, you take $250 and then you're going to pay $300 back in 2 weeks. You turn around and then you take, rob Peter to pay Paul. You do it again, you get another $250. Then you're going to go ahead and pay it back in another 2 weeks. That's in 30 days. That's another $50. So that's a $100 just for $500. Here, you can get up to $2,500, pay it back in the same amount of time and only $71.51. Once again, folks, that's a no-brainer. Doesn't take rocket science. Come on down to MKG Tax Consultants or go online to our website at mkgtaxconsultants.com. Availability is subject to satisfaction of identity verification, eligibility criteria, and underwriting standards. Or you can download our mobile app and get 20% off your tax preparation. Are you looking for the best way to get the maximum tax return with the lowest liability? Look no further. Get your max tax refund, we guarantee, or lowest liability is here to help. We guarantee to save you money and reduce your tax liability, and thousands of our satisfied customers have already experienced the benefit of our services. We're going to make sure that, we doing your taxes right. You're going to get your taxes done right, and you're going to, walk out satisfied and happy. We can't guarantee anything. There's only two things in life that's promised, and that's death and taxes. And once again, we don't control the hour or the time, but, we do, try to do our best to get you the max tax refund. And so, if you want to come experience the difference, come on down to MKG Tax Consultants. Some people saying, hey, I'm not that computer savvy, or, hey, I'm, don't know. I like to go to my, the same tax place that I've been going to for years and years and years. Well, everyone might not be getting a refund. What if you owe taxes? And then what? Do you want to kind of, continue to, owe taxes year after year after year? It's like if you do the same thing over and over again, and it's insanity, so, you got to kind of, change it up, switch it up. We're just not a tax shop. We offer mortgage loans. So if you were looking to buy a house or even refinance and do a cash out, we're able to help you, with the, getting your, getting a home equity line of credit, or even doing a cash out refi. And so, we do a whole lot of things, at our office here. We're just not a, fly by night, tax place. But I'm going to go ahead and, let's give you a breakdown of the services that we do offer at MKG Tax Consultants. So you can purchase a home. You can use your tax refund as a down payment on a home. We have mortgage solutions for you. Get your customer rate quote today. We offer cash pass, Visa cards, client advisory services. We also offer small business capital, tax resolution, wealth management. The tax help you need and the biggest possible refund guaranteed. We believe MKG Enterprises Corp Financial Professionals must be a force for change moving forward. We serve as a tip of the spear in a national effort to increase financial literacy from the ground up, advocating for better financial education for children and young adults, and also from the top down, using our tools and expertise to educate the current population on a new fluid definition of financial wellness. You can also book an appointment online and you can learn more. Once again, our website is available 24 hours a day. It's basically convenient on your time. We offer business tax resolution, discovery and investigation. We offer tax resolution, discovery, and investigation. We also offer payment plans. So our awesome app. So tax season can be a stressful time for many individuals. With our digital tax preparation software, we make it easy to take care of all your tax needs from the comfort of your device. Our software is designed to optimize the process for mobile users so you can quickly and easily file your taxes wherever you are. We know that Americans check their phones at least 96 times a day. Why not make the most of it with our convenient and secure digital tax preparation software? Our user reviews have given us a 4.9 out of 5 rating. No more waiting in line at the tax office. With digital tax preparation, you can complete your taxes in minutes. We also offer a loan calculator. You can go ahead and look at our app that's on the Apple Store and also on Google. We also offer identity theft protection. Skip the line and download our tax app and get 20% off. Or you can give us a call at 559-412-7248, or even make an appointment online and get started with your taxes. So, that's kind of the ins and outs of, everything that, we kind of went over today. And if you like what you're hearing and, you want to come and discover the MKG Tax Consultants difference, go ahead and, check us out online at mkgtaxconsultants.com. I'm also a licensed tax preparer. But, I'm going to go ahead and put this to an end. But once again, if you're looking for, a no cost tax refund advance, and then if, you only get one shot. So it's just like, that golfer, you want to kind of, make sure you get that, get that shot in, go ahead and get MKG and give us that shot for us to, deliver you the best tax experience, that you have digitally.